Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a fascinating and honestly pretty shocking reality. We're looking at a massive study by researchers Thomas Stanley and William Danko. You probably know it as the millionaire next door. They spent years, literally years, studying actual millionaires. And what they found? It completely shatters that whole Hollywood myth of what it means to be rich. We aren't talking about secret money hacks or get-rich-quick schemes here. This is a backstage pass into how wealthy people actually think, save, and, live their everyday lives.
So picture a millionaire for a second. What do they look like to you? We've been deeply trained by society and definitely by social media to think that wealth just equals flashy, right? We picture someone in Beverly Hills driving a brand new Tesla, wearing a Rolex, and rocking a $3,000 outfit. You see them and you automatically think, wow, no way, they've absolutely made it. But here's the crazy truth. That's not a picture of wealth at all. That is a picture of spending. Your average millionaire actually lives in a totally normal middle-class neighborhood. They drive a used car, and you probably wouldn't even look twice if you passed them in the grocery store aisle. They essentially skipped the flexing and went straight for freedom.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the absolute night and day contrast between two very different approaches to money. Take Grace Groner, for instance. She was a secretary at Abbott Labs in Illinois. She lived in a super simple one-bedroom house and never made a massive salary. Then, you've got MC Hammer, the hugely famous rapper, pulling in over $30 million a year back in the 1990s. He had a 40,000 square foot mansion, a private jet, 17 luxury cars, and a staff of over 200 people. Two completely different universes, right?
But let's look at how their stories actually ended. When Grace Groner passed away in 2010, she shocked everyone. She left a staggering $7 million to her local college. $7 million! How on earth did a secretary do that? Well, she bought just $180 worth of Abbott stock back in 1935, and she never sold it. She just reinvested the dividends and lived simply. Decades of compounding did the rest. Meanwhile, MC Hammer? He burned through his massive income like it was totally infinite, and he filed for bankruptcy in 1996, completely broke. It just goes to show, real lasting wealth doesn't always look like success, and being flashy definitely doesn't mean you're financially free.
Section 1. Live below your means.
Okay, I know, living below your means sounds incredibly boring, but it is, without a doubt, absolutely crucial. It's the most powerful financial move you can make. Real millionaires understand that wealth is about what you keep, not what you spend. Their whole focus is on building a foundation, not burning their cash on things that just lose value. And the biggest threat to this? Lifestyle creep. It's exactly what it sounds like. Someone gets a new job or a bump in pay, and suddenly, boom, they upgrade everything. New apartment, new car, expensive clothes. Sure, their income goes up, but their bank account is still completely stressed out. Trying to build wealth while dealing with lifestyle creep, it's literally like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it's just going to empty right out.
And get this, the authors of the study found that most actual millionaires have never paid more than $30,000 for a car. Never! Even when they could easily afford something way nicer. Just look at Keanu Reeves. The guy's worth hundreds of millions, yet he lives in a modest apartment and literally rides the subway. Or Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. Even after she became a billionaire, she drove a used car for years because she just didn't see the point in upgrading for show. The takeaway here is that living below your means isn't about punishing yourself. It's simply about controlling your money instead of letting your money control you.
Section 2. Start investing early.
You see, millionaires don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. They don't wait for perfect market conditions or that one absolute perfect stock to start stacking their wealth. They understand that time is their greatest asset. There's this fantastic quote from Warren Buffett: "My favorite holding period is forever." And that perfectly reinforces exactly how Grace Groner made her millions. She didn't try to time the market, and she for sure didn't panic sell when things got bumpy. She bought, she held, and she patiently reinvested. The wealthy get in, they stay in, and they let time do all the heavy lifting.
Let's put this into perspective with a classic compound interest scenario. Say we have two friends. Sarah starts investing $200 a month at age 22, but she completely stops at age 30. So that's just a short 8-year sprint. She puts in a total of about $19,200. Now Mike, on the other hand, he waits. He starts at age 30, and he invests $200 a month all the way until he's 65. That is a 35-year marathon, and he puts in over $80,000 of his own money. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why starting early is the ultimate cheat code. At age 65, Sarah actually ends up with significantly more money than Mike, even though she invested for just a fraction of the time and put in way less of her own cash. Honestly, compound interest is a beast. It's kind of like planting a tree. Those early years are when that crucial root system grows.
Section 3. Avoid the status trap. Building wealth, it's not just a math problem. It is heavily, heavily psychological. There's this immense societal pressure out there to look successful, even if you're barely scraping by behind the scenes. People feel like they need the nicest car on the lot, the designer bag, the latest iPhone, just to keep up appearances. But quiet millionaires, they completely ignore that pressure. Take Ronald Reed. He was a janitor and a gas station attendant. He drove a used car, clipped coupons, and lived completely invisibly. When he died, people were floored to discover he was secretly worth over $8 million. He didn't waste a single ounce of energy or money trying to impress strangers. The wealthy know that buying things just to show off is playing someone else's game. And in that game, you always lose. The real flex isn't a Lamborghini. It's having the ultimate financial freedom to say no to a job you absolutely hate.
Section 4. Generational Wealth and Mindset.
Okay, so once you build this wealth and secure that freedom, how do you keep it? Because honestly, building all this incredible wealth is totally pointless if the next generation instantly crashes the metaphorical sports car you hand them. Thomas Stanley coined this phenomenal term, economic outpatient care. This is what happens when wealthy parents constantly bail their kids out financially. They buy them the cars, they pay off those massive credit card bills, and they fund a lifestyle the kids just haven't earned yet. And because of this constant safety net, the kids never learn how to stand on their own 2 feet. They grow up dependent, entitled, and, well, really bad with money. It is a fast track to destroying family wealth.
So on one side, we have the family that's rich on paper. Huge house, kids get whatever they want, trust funds, no chores. But on the other side, you have the millionaire next door family. They live modestly. Their kids work part-time jobs and actually learn how to budget. A prime example of this is Pete Adney. You might know him as Mr. Money Mustache. He retired in his 30s, but he makes sure his son runs little businesses, knows how to fix bikes, and genuinely understands investing. Fast forward 20 years, and it's almost always that second family whose wealth actually survives. Wealth without wisdom, it disappears fast.
Section 5. Daily Habits to Start Now. Let's move to and see how this builds from a broad mindset into an actionable blueprint that you can use right now.
Because becoming the millionaire next door isn't about luck, right? It's about practical, everyday habits that actually move the needle. There's this incredible piece of advice from Benjamin Graham. He was actually Warren Buffett's mentor. He said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." This hits the nail right on the head. It's the core philosophy of paying yourself first. If you wait until the end of the month to see what's left over to save, there's usually going to be nothing left. You have to prioritize your future freedom way before your current spending. So here are 4 really powerful steps you can take today based on the study. Step 1, track your spending. If you don't know where your money is sneaking off to, you literally can't stop the leaks. Step 2, automate your savings. Just have a chunk of your paycheck go straight into an investment account before you even see it. Step 3, embrace the power of saying no to instant gratification. Skipping that flashy dinner today means you're harvesting huge freedom later. And step 4, learn about money. Treat financial literacy like a fascinating hobby, not some boring chore.
I want to leave you with this really powerful analogy. Wealth isn't some overnight explosion of success. It is built exactly like a brick wall. One single brick doesn't look like much, right? But day after day, boring choice after boring choice, brick after brick, you create something incredibly strong and lasting. It's all about patience and consistency.
Which leads us to our final and maybe most important question. Knowing everything we've uncovered today from these quiet millionaires, will you choose to look wealthy to impress strangers, or will you choose to actually be free? The choice is entirely in your hands, and it starts with the very next dollar you earn.